Hey babes, I'm Ray, and let's jump on the bandwagon and play Slay the Princess. This has been just blowing up all over, and I'm actually pretty sure I watched a gameplay for it like a year ago, but I don't think I watched like the whole thing, or the whole thing wasn't released yet, or something. I don't know. Art style is very comic based, it's very monochromatic, and there are supposed to be so many different endings to this, and every playthrough is supposed to be a little bit unique. And it's just getting so much attention right now, so I gotta see what the fuss is about. I really do like the sketchbook style. Let's see. I don't really think I need to look at this. It seems kind of point and clicky. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
This seems very dramatic. Oh, it does move. Hello? Turn around and leave. Oh, you can just leave immediately?
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Okay. I gotta start as a little shit. Okay, fine, you're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and slay the princess. Ugh. Okay, fine, I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her, maybe I won't. I guess we'll see. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Gonna walk in the opposite direction now. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. It's so tempting.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Yeah, right?
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
This narrator seems aggressive.
That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
I feel like the narrator had to have done something. We're gonna try.
Keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's
I might be.
Selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
You're not emotionally blackmailing me.
Aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that.
But I don't want to be mature.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
I don't want to. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place. There's no fighting it. I have to go into the...
But let me tell you right now that you're making the correct decision for pretty much everyone.
It's a very tiny cabin.
We can't just go through with this and listen to him. She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
He's got a point. This seems very anti-hero.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement.
What if I... What if I don't take the blade?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
That's kind of messed up, man.
Softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Oh, the hero's a romantic.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Hi!
Be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
Sus.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Okay. Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
You know, I gotta know.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating?
Yeah, she has to eat.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some...
You have all the explanation you need. The princess hesitates. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
That's actually kind of heartbreaking.
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I'm so confused as to why...
Or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
Damn! Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Only making this more difficult.
Let's get it.
And you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
I don't know if I am. Yeah!
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
Okay.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
Okay, this doesn't seem...
Basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? Your shouts and I'll repeat myself once again.
Excuse me, I don't even have the knife on me.
You tried the door.
How do you want me to kill her?
Make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been easier for whom?
Wow.
Everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
The mess I'm in, you're putting me in this mess.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the...
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how, or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
I'm definitely... Oh, God. I mean, I guess you would be pretty desperate. I don't know. Okay. All right, let's try it. Let's save her first.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding...
What's with my... Look at that. I have, like, monster arms. What? I've got talons.
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground.
Whew.
Chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't.
Oh, I'm scared now.
She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
This got really intense really quick.
Now let's get out of here.
She's gonna kill me.
We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. I can't just let her escape into the world.
Who the hell are you? Like, who are you to her?
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Absolutely not.
This isn't fair. You watch me.
No. Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
I'm not gonna.
Your body lunges.
No!
Held low, ready to sink into her.
No!
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move. As your body remains frozen in stubborn
We both know this is...
She nervously
This isn't you. Okay, yeah.
the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands.
Why do I have monster hands?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone.
I'm more interested in me. Like, what are these talons? What's with the fleshy stuff?
She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
This narrator is, like, mean. I don't like him.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks.
See, I don't know, like, I don't really blame her.
It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over.
Woof. Okay.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Damsel.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
Deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Of the smitten?
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
Cute.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Jesus. Just laying it on thick. This is more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
I feel like the narrator's the bad guy. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
You were the one who did us in, villain.
Exactly.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price.
Unless you're the villain.
I beg to differ.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations.
But common sense, not so common.
Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
And also, if she stays in the cabin, then nothing happened. Like, she's already been there for so long. Like, so why... I don't know, do you have to kill her? Can't she just stay down there?
In this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
I don't know you either.
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
I love his voice.
Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
A warning. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
So, but here's the thing, is you didn't warn me about that last time, and you were incredibly persistent, so I'm a little less inclined to believe you now. Just saying.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Okay. Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Very different.
Yeah.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror.
Yeah, what?
There isn't.
There literally is.
The princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Approach the mirror.
Up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
Reach forward.
What is with my hand?
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
But it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
There was a mirror. What is happening?
The blade from the table. It will be.
I suppose if we're to play the role of dashing knight, we need an equally...
Hopefully it doesn't put her on edge. Hopefully it doesn't get turned on us. Again, there's no use arguing over motivations right now. It's good that you took the blade. You'll need it to
Do your job. I don't mean to keep clicking. I just have trigger finger.
The door to the basement creaks open.
This is
revealing
wildly
a
different.
stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
Ugh.
The wedding bells already.
Okay.
Till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning.
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you.
She may not be able to hear my words.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero.
She also said you came back.
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time.
I'd really hoped I'd be the first. Okay, this is some kind of multiverse layered bullshit.
Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Oh, man. I have to ask.
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart.
Yeah.
That's a confession.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself.
Not so sure.
I really just kind of want to... I really want to try and go way too hard for the loving, charmed hero. Like, I don't know. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Do I have to cut you out again? I really didn't care for that last
I'm
time.
okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are?
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
The Smitten's killing me.
Extremely bizarre behavior and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery.
Whew.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation. If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Yee.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
Liar.
I think he's right, because I like like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Good God, hold a grudge. All right. All right, we're gonna try rescuing her one more time.
I can't. You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? Yes.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
Wow!
You wouldn't.
I would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
Oh boy.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh boy.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and is that a threat?
You know what we'll do if you try it.
You're going to regret this.
Am I though? Because right now I'm not regretting this.
What do we do now?
Let me guess.
Spoken with the rank cynicism of
I-
someone who has
Trigger fingers.
love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before. I mean, you sort of did last time, but this is different.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world?
Aw.
So gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave, and I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection.
Please don't end the world. Please don't end the world. Please don't end the world.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
No. There must be something
I
you
just wanna
want.
make you happy.
She can't just want to make us happy.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
Tone's getting a lot darker.
I just want to make you happy.
Okay, it's starting to sound more like a question.
Is she broken? What's going on?
This is starting to get a little creepy.
What's going on is she's lying to you, only she isn't a good liar. Are you starting to trust me now?
But you need your own thing. You just met me. You can't base your entire happiness around me.
If that's what makes you happy.
What happened?
This isn't right. I don't know what's going on, but this isn't right.
What is happening?
I fail to see the problem here. She's just sweet on us. You don't have to act like it's a big deal.
Is she getting creepy?
I just want to make you happy.
Oh wow, we are getting creepier.
Does it feel like we're alone right now? Like we're the only ones here?
Interesting. Oh! Hello? Excuse me? You don't get the chance to ask another question. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
No. She was our perfect match. She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a... Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror. The narrator is gone.
Does that mean the world ended? A villain vanquished? You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing.
The mirror?
Can't believe she was taken away from us. The nerve. There's something dreadful about... Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt.
Okay, approach the mirror. I don't really have another choice. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. Why? I look like I have, like, feathers or spikes? What am I? It's you. Am I, like, an angel? What am I? Huh. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Excuse me? What do you mean I'm at the cabin?
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
Let her out.
There are some changes that can never be undone. There are some tears that can never be unshed. This is not a place that can hold a fragment of a concept. The moment she arrived here, she was going to return to me. I promise that it doesn't hurt. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
What? Hey! Hold on a second!
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
What? Oh, attempt to outweight your destiny. Interesting! Alright, make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
Oh.
You won't.
What the hell? Oh my god.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
You can skip previously seen dialogue by hitting tab on your keyboard. Okay.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, I'm actually going to go ahead and call it there. Yeah, I really like this. I kind of get what all the hype was about. It's really got me hooked, and I cannot wait to continue this. But until then, I've been Ray. This is a Let's Play. This is Slay the Princess. Leave me a like, comment down below, or subscribe if you like what you see. And I'll see you next time. Toodles noodles.